Hi, welcome back, self-explorers. First of all, I just want to apologize that it's been such a long time between videos, but I'm actually creating the online Living Soul Astrology course, so that's taken up quite a bit of my time, and that'll be out later this year, so we look forward to that. And I just wanted to share with you today a little excerpt from the current Living Soul Astrology Foundation program. Before we start, remember to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any updates, and to like and share. Click the link to download your free guide, your essential guide to solar astrology, and that will really help you to understand solar astrology a little bit better. And you can read about the 12 zodiac signs and their soul-centered meanings in more depth in my book, Soul Astrology: How Your Rising Sign Reveals Your Soul Path and Life Purpose. Okay, so let's begin. People, when learning astrology, often have problems distinguishing how the planets show differently in different signs. So just to recap, in your horoscope, the planets are showing you what kind of energy is being expressed, and the sign is showing the manner or style of that expression. And then the house placement is showing you where in your life that energy is being expressed. So here's a little excerpt from this week's Living Soul Astrology Foundation program, just to whet your appetite for the forthcoming Living Soul Astrology online program. This is an illustration using the example of Saturn in Aries versus Saturn in Capricorn. So you're getting a distinction between the Aries style of Saturn expression and Capricorn style of Saturn expression. Okay, here we go. So I want to bring in Saturn in Aries, which is the fall. Saturn falls in Aries. And we were speaking last week with relation to Jupiter, and the week before about Mars. So remember, when a planet falls, it's kind of disadvantaged. It's not free to express itself. It doesn't have the resources it wants. And so when Saturn falls, there can be a lack of that discipline and a lack of that organization. But remember, Saturn's still Saturn. Saturn's still going to do what Saturn is here to do. It's still Saturn. It's just not in the best place, but it's still Saturn. And so when it's in Aries, it tends to not be happy. You can hear, speaking to, those of us with Saturn and Capricorn, speaking about how it manifests as being organized, disciplined, methodical, results-oriented, goals-oriented. And Aries wants to be spontaneous. So an Aries Saturn is a spontaneous Saturn, an impulsive Saturn. And so you can imagine Saturn's there to kind of put structures in place. But if we put structures in place impulsively, like Saturn in Capricorn would plan and gather together all the resources. Okay, we're going to build a tree house. We're going to need this. We're going to need the nails and the tools and the wood and so there'll be a lot of planning going into it. Whereas Saturn in Aries will go, we're going to build a tree house this weekend, kids. Come on, let's get up the tree and bring that over. Let's put that. And they'll throw this tree house up. Now, over a couple of years, after there's been some weather and, storms battering the tree house and what have you, whose tree house is still going to be in place? The Saturn in Capricorn's treehouse or the Saturn in Aries treehouse? And that's kind of the problem when you've got Saturn in Aries. So Saturn will still kind of try to create the structures, try to put the structures in place. But when they're put in place impulsively or spontaneously or not so well thought out, because Aries can't be bothered with all those things, you get kind of a different result. You'll get a result because that's what Saturn does, but you might not kind of get the result that you were hoping for. Remember to click the link below to download your free guide and learn more about solar astrology. And when you're ready to go deeper, have a look at my book, Soul Astrology: How Your Rising Sign Reveals Your Soul Path and Life Purpose. That tells you a lot more about the soul purpose of each of the 12 signs. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you love soul astrology, remember to like and share and subscribe to this channel. See you next time.